Hi, and welcome to Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross. And today we are going to play with filling letters with a shape, and we are going to use a spider web. I already brought one in, and so the next thing we're going to do is to pick the font. Now, what works best with this is if you use a font that has multi-layers. So what I'm going to do is go to pick font. I'm going to filter. That's right up here in the right hand corner next to the search button on fonts. And we are going to pick multi-layer. And then I'm going to pick my font so I don't have to worry about finding one that I like that I don't own. So then we're going to go down, and I saw one earlier that kind of had this Art Nouveau kind of has kind of a gothic feel to me, so I picked that one. As you can see, it has lots of little swirlies and things, so I'm going to use that one. So if you look on the right under your layers, you're going to see that the background layer is not shown. That's whenever you see a dash or a slash through the eye, that means it's hidden. So we're going to bring it forward. And now you can see that there is a shadow behind this font. And then we are going to select just the front font layer of the font, and we are going to duplicate it. We are going to play with it later. So let's slide it out of the way. So now we're going to select both layers of the font. Now, because we did not ungroup the letters, each of the words is seen as a single image. So slice will work, because remember, slice will only work with 2 images. And since the Halloween font and its shadow are still grouped together, they're seen as one image. So we can slice. That makes that a little bit easier. You don't have to slice each individual letter. So now what we have is just the background with the front font. The shadow is cut out because of that front font that was on top of it. So now we're ready to start playing with the web, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it a couple of times because we may have to use it more than once, and it's not going to be large enough to put a lot of letters in. And I'm thinking I don't necessarily want the spider web in every one of the letters. So let us ungroup the ones down here, ones we're going to play with, and let's start with the H. So we're going to put the H on the web. Just kind of figure out a place where you think you might like it. You're really not going to know it until it's done. So I selected the H, and then I held down my shift key and clicked on the web. So now I have the 2, and I can hit slice. Remember, you have to have 2 images chosen before slice becomes available. Slice is in the bottom right hand side of your tools. Okay, so now we're going to have 2 different ways to look at this. Let's go ahead and delete that out of the way. So you have the web where, and I'll plus it up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. You have the web where the web part of it is cut out, and you have a part of it where the web was cut. So it's either going to be the cutouts of the web, or you're going to have the web itself. So let's kind of get a feel for how that's going to look. We want it to look like there's a web in there. And we're going to line it up inside the H. And then we're going to select the 2, and we're going to weld and see if we like that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. So let's undo it. It's going to take it a minute to undo. And let's pull that out, and let's see what it looks like with the negative space of the web. And let's select both and weld. I think either one looks good. Let's just go with that one. All right. So then we'll come in, and let's just say, let's do an L next. Let's sit right down so you can see everything all together. And I think we might have enough on this web to bring one of the L's down into it. And slice. So we've got the L selected, so let's pick the web and let's slice. All right, and again, remember, you have both the negative and the positive, but we used the negative before, so let's stick with that, and we'll put that in the L. All right, and let's do both L's. And again, we're going to slice after we've selected both. And again, we're going to use this part. Up. Remember, with weld, you can weld more than one thing at one time, so we can go ahead and get all the pieces done. Delete that and that. Let's do the W. Let's see if it'll fit in here. Nope, we're going to have to get another web. That's why sometimes you need to duplicate. And it might not really look that much like a web, but I still am liking what I'm seeing with the differences. So let's bring that in here with the W. Now, a lot of times you're going to see zebra pattern is really good for doing this. Let's do the N. And slice. And again, we want the negative. All right. And we're not going to use these other letters, so let's go ahead and delete them. So now you have the ones that you want to do with the shapes inside. So let's weld it together. So we have all those. That looks pretty cool. So then let's say we want to maybe do a piece of the web off of the E's. Let's just see what that looks like. So we're going to bring in a shape. I'm going to unlock it because I don't want it to go any further that way. There we are. Then let's select both of those and let's do a slice. And I don't want any of that. I just want this little piece. We'll twirl it around. And then we can come up here. Let's see what happens if we weld that. That's kind of cool having the, and let's bring in another web. And let's also look for a spider. And remember, I like to filter through what I purchase so that I don't have to look at all of them and pick one that I might not want. I like that one's kind of goofy looking, but since we're using, that one looks good. Since we're using a pretty sophisticated looking Halloween, I do want one that's hanging. So this is one that's off of our Artfully Sent. We don't have that cartridge anymore, but I really want that spider. So let us ungroup everything. All right. And then we can delete what we don't want. delete button. And we'll pick the card. We don't want that. We don't want the score line. We just slowly get rid of all the things we don't want. And one more score line. All right, so then we have the spider, and let us slice. And I'm sorry if I go too fast. I'm sorry. We're going to bring in another square, and we're going to unlock the proportion side over here so that we can drag it down. And then again, hold the shift key and click on the web so you have both of them, and we're going to slice that out and delete everything out. And this time we're going to twirl it, and let's see, we're going to put this across the top. Just put it down. Let's make it just a wee bit smaller. And again, straighten it up just a little more because we pretty much just want it on the top of the letters. We'll move the spider out of the way. And well, let's see what that looks like. It's not too bad. I kind of like that. Look, then we can have the spider hanging off the letter here. And while that. And then let's not make it pink. Let's make it black. And there we go. So we put spider webs inside 5 of the letters. And then we added a web to the top and the bottom of the words. And now you have a title that you could put in. Now remember, the insides of these are going to cut. If you don't want those to cut, you can come into the contour. I have to wait for everything to come up here. And we can click on inside of the E. Let's see, and the inside. We want just the O. Let's see what we did. Let's see if that worked the way I wanted it to. A little bit too much. We need to uncontour a little bit of it. And wait until it comes in. Remember, the contour is going to take away some cut lines for us. Right? We want to make sure that we're getting. Let's see if we click on those, if we brought those back. Let's see what we get here. There we go. So now we have those letters all together, and those ones are not. And if you had wanted to, you could have moved the letters together and welded them closer so that you won't be putting this on whatever you're going to put it on, but I thought that'd be really cool for a title on a scrapbook page. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.